In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how you would go about doing the steps in the Do Random Stuff assignment that comes at the end of this section. I'm just going to start here where we left off at the end of the last demo video. We had the commands that are used to generate random values right here in the file. We just didn't explain them. What you see here is kind of a condensed version of the steps involved in creating random numbers. Real quickly here, I'm just going to expand these out. I'm going to take this first one with the xStart variable, and if we did this step by step, we would type xStart equals math.random, and this is the function that generates random numbers. And what that would do is it would assign a random number between 0 and 1 into the xStart variable. But since we want whole numbers, we would say xStart times equals 600. Since that's the upper limit, I'm putting colons when I should be putting semicolons. That's the range. We want a number between 1 and 600. So I've just multiplied a value that's between 0 and 1 times 600. And we're still going to get a long decimal number. So we can take care of that by using the math floor command and say that xStart equals math.floor, and then put the value of xStart in there, and it'll take the number that was multiplied by 600 and round it down to the nearest integer. So those are the three steps that we are actually condensing into one command. So I'm just going to delete those because this command here does the same thing. It just puts the values inside of each other, and we only have to assign it to the xStart variable in one line. Now, how are we using these variables? So first of all, we declared the variables up here, the xStart, the yStart, the xEnd, the yEnd. These are the coordinates for our lines, and I think it's pretty obvious that the x and y start are the beginning point of each line, and the x and y end are the end point. And then we have this x attract and y attract. These are the coordinates for the attractor that is used in the quadratic curve. So then when we go down to one of these functions that draws the curves, or the lines actually, you can use the xStart, yStart, xEnd, yEnd for either straight lines or curved lines, as you can see here. And then we just have to also use the x attract and y attract coordinates for the attractor coordinates. So that's how we do random stuff. The goRandom function is called, as we talked about in the last video. When the user clicks on the die button, it calls the goRandom function and generates those values, and then when the user clicks on one of the color swatch buttons, one of these four, then it will use those random values to create the lines. I'm going to save that and just do a quick demonstration. We'll refresh this. We've already seen this, but it's still working, so we're generating coordinates each time we hit the die button, and then we're drawing lines based on those coordinates. And you can just keep going as much as you want, create as many random lines as you want. You can do the curved lines, and they can be drawn anywhere. And that's how you do random stuff.